Okay, so I'll ring the bell to start us. And for this meditation, let's start with standing stretches. And always be mindful, though, of your body and what sort of works for you. If standing for the 10 or 15 minutes is going to be too difficult, you can just do that from a sitting position. And as we do the different stretches, if there's any positions or movements that cause pain or that are problematic, then don't do it. Just modify it. So if you can't reach your arm straight up in the air, you could maybe just lift the shoulder a little or lift the arm a little, whatever feels right for you. So if you have any injuries or pain problems, you don't want to aggravate it, but also, be aware sometimes pushing your limits might be good for your body. In some ways, that's what stretching is all about. And of course, the main principle, the main focus of doing this is really to practice being mindful, to really try to give full attention to the present moment, to what you're actually experiencing. So even right at this moment, if you're standing, notice what it feels like to be standing. We can feel that it's different when we stand as opposed to when we sit. But there might be a lot of subtle details that we don't notice if we're not paying attention. Notice the sensations on the bottom of your feet. So if you're standing, there's probably sort of pressure against the bottom of your feet that you can feel. And notice you might feel it in some parts of your feet more than others. There might be an area of the heel, or towards the front, the ball of the foot, or maybe the bottom of the toes, different spots where there's more pressure or contact. Just feel what it's like. And then, also feel your legs supporting you. Notice that you have legs and they're holding you up. Again, when we're standing, we may not, unless our legs are sore or something, we don't usually pay attention. But actually notice, maybe notice if you feel subtle muscle tension in the legs for the muscles that are holding you up. Because if your muscles in your legs were 100% relaxed, you would just fall down. Notice how it feels to be standing and feel your arms and your hands, just letting them hang loose, and notice what that's like. Feeling right through your arms, right down to your fingertips. And notice your whole torso, your back, your belly, your chest. Feel your posture, the position you're standing in. Trying to stand relatively upright, with not rigid, but just with a good posture. Almost as if there was a string attached to the top of your head pulling upward. And you might also notice movement of your belly or your chest as you breathe. So just feeling your breath. Feeling your neck supporting your head. Feeling your whole face. Maybe notice if there's any tension in your face, especially around your jaw or mouth, or around your eyes or forehead. And if there is, just see if you can loosen up. Just let the muscles in your face be sort of relaxed. And of course, if your mind is going ahead to what's coming next, or if your mind is going anywhere in terms of thoughts, anytime you realize that, just notice that those are thoughts, and then kind of leave them alone and just come back to the present. Just feel yourself, your whole body as you are right now. And then if you're able to, maybe raising both your arms up, maybe just keeping the elbows straight and lifting your arms to your sides, and continuing lifting up until your hands are overhead. And just reaching upward. Feeling the stretching as you do so. Notice any areas that feel particularly tight, or notice where you feel the stretching the most. And you can play with it a little if you want. Maybe one side wants to be stretched more than the other. You can reach higher if you want, or you can ease off of the stretching if you need to. Make sure you don't hold your breath. Try and actually let the rest of your body stay relaxed. If you have difficulty holding it for this long, you can always put your arms down. But if you feel okay holding it a little longer, seeing what that's like, you might notice muscles starting to kind of fatigue. And then when you're ready, slowly bring the arms down. Just feeling them move, and then feeling the letting go at the end. Just feeling what it's like to let all the muscles in your arms just completely loosen up and unwind. And notice sensation. Notice how your arms, your hands might feel different than when you started. Kind of feeling your whole body as it is right now, including the sensations of breathing. Just notice that you are breathing. And then for the next sort of movement, let's just start with moving the right arm up. So again, reaching overhead. And if you want, you can let your left heel come off the ground a little bit. So kind of lean into it, reaching up a bit more. But still breathing, feeling the stretching, just reaching up towards the ceiling. And then bringing the arm back down, feeling it move. Notice the moment when it stops, when you let it rest. Maybe notice any difference now between the right and the left arm. Different sensations that are occurring. You don't need to analyze it or think about it. Or if thoughts about it do come up, you start thinking about your body and what's happening. Just notice that, okay, those are thoughts. But we can, for now, decide not to engage in the thinking so much. Instead, just be present. Maybe appreciating whatever movements you do, even if you have limitations in how your body moves. Just appreciating that your body can move, that you have joints and bones and muscles, nerves that coordinate to allow you to move your arms and legs, and your whole body. So moving now the left arm up, reaching upward. A whole bunch of different muscles are involved in this. You might feel all kinds of sensations, perhaps especially in the shoulder and upper arm. You might feel sensations right through your entire arm, even right up into your fingers. Perhaps appreciating that your shoulder allows this kind of movement, that the muscles and ligaments allow you to have a strong but flexible joint of the shoulder that allow you to move your arms. And bring your arm back down, feeling it move, relaxing it. Noticing however your left arm is feeling now, any difference between the left and the right. Really feel your whole body. Notice also that you're breathing and feeling that. And then from here, maybe one more time, bring both arms up. And then once your arms are overhead, taking a deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, leaning to one side. So letting your body kind of curve and then just breathing naturally, relaxing into it. Maybe with each out breath, relaxing a bit more, just letting it naturally stretch out the side of your body. And then breathing in and coming up, and breathing out and leaning to the other side. And then just breathing naturally and relaxing into it, feeling it. Breathing in now and coming straight up, and breathing out and letting the arms come down. And notice how that feels, kind of relief as you let the muscles go. Just feel your body as it is right in this moment. And if thoughts come up too, you don't have to force your thoughts to go away. You don't have to make your mind go blank. Just acknowledge that thoughts will come up, just like sensations and sounds come and go. But through it all, you can be an observer and kind of allow things to be as they are. So now from here, if you just raise only your shoulders up, notice how that feels, bringing your shoulders up towards your ears. You feel some muscles tightening or some stretching. And then bring the shoulders back down, letting them relax and feel what that's like. And then bring the shoulders towards each other in front. So they might just move a little bit, but notice if you feel perhaps some stretching across your upper back as the shoulder blades pull away from each other. And then bring the shoulders back down. And then pulling the shoulders back so the shoulder blades are moving towards each other. You might feel some stretching across your chest. And then bring the shoulders back up again, but now just doing a continual movement, rolling, circling the shoulders around. Whatever pace feels good for you, taking your time, there's no need to rush. Try to feel it the whole way around. If you want, you can change directions, rotate the shoulders the other way. So then letting the shoulders relax again, letting the arms hang loose. Check in again with your body. Notice however your body is feeling right at this moment. Notice your breath. Feel yourself breathing. And notice any thoughts or emotions that are present. Just notice that you could be an observer of all of this. And then maybe we'll do one more set of stretches, just gentle stretches of the neck. So first, bringing the chin down in front, kind of letting your head hang. And go really easy on the neck if you have any injuries or neck problems. So just enough to get a gentle stretch of the back of the neck and really feel what that's like. And then bring the head back up. And then tilting the head to the side, whichever side you want to do first. So like your ears leaning towards your shoulder. Just however far seems okay, just to get a comfortable stretch on the side of the neck. And then tilting the head the other side. And just feeling the stretching, letting the neck loosen up. And then tilting the head back down in front again. And then just continuing through these three positions, just gently, slowly, circling the head around. If you want, you can change directions, circle the other way. And then coming back to the center, with your head just balanced on the center of your neck. Shoulders relaxed, standing upright. And really feel your body in this position. Just being in touch with your body. Then from here, let's move back to a sitting position if you're standing now, but doing that mindfully as well. So notice any movement, notice the muscles that are being used, the feeling, especially if you're lowering yourself down into a chair. And then when you're sitting, notice the difference between sitting and standing. When you're ready, perhaps closing your eyes, or if you prefer, just half closing them and gazing downward. Sitting, trying to sit upright with an alert posture, but with the shoulders relaxed. Your hands and arms just resting loosely wherever it feels comfortable to rest them. And just notice the fact that you are breathing just by feeling it. Feeling the in-breath and feeling the out-breath. As best you can, just letting your breath happen in its natural rhythm, so you don't have to control your breathing. Notice all the various places where you can feel your breath. Normally, we actually don't feel our breathing in our lungs. We feel sensations from all the tissues, all the parts of the body around the lungs that are moving, that help the lungs inflate and deflate. You might also feel sensations of the air flowing in and out of your nose or mouth. If you're able to breathe through your nose reasonably comfortably, you could try just having your mouth gently closed and feel the sensation of the air flowing in and out of their nostrils. You might also notice the feeling of rising and falling of your chest. Our ribs are sort of flexible in that they can move so our chest can expand, so the lungs inside can then inflate. Notice if you feel that movement in maybe in the front or the sides of your chest, the movement of the rib cage. And also notice if you feel movement of your belly as you breathe. Typically, we use a muscle called the diaphragm to help us breathe, to help inflate the lungs. And when the diaphragm contracts, it pushes downward so that everything in your belly is kind of compressed and kind of just moves outward. Or just notice if you feel that, if you can feel a bit of that outward movement, expansion outward of the belly when you breathe in and moving inward as you breathe out. Since we're always breathing, the breath is very handy as a focal point. Anytime you want to really ground yourself more in the present moment, you can just notice that you are breathing, and as best you can, bring all your attention to it. Let go of everything else and just feel the breath moving in and moving out. And also remembering that if your mind wanders off, if it's hard to hold your attention on one thing like your breath, that's okay. It's quite normal. The human mind likes to keep busy. We're used to thinking so much that just being still and focused on one thing may not come easy to us or natural, which is why we practice this. Practice simply comes down to feeling the breath and or whatever area we're focusing on, and then noticing when your attention goes somewhere else. And at that point, when you notice it, bringing your attention back. We can focus attention on our breath, or it could be on anything else that we experience in the present moment. Sensations, like the sensations of breathing, tend to be fairly easy to sort of notice. They're, especially if they're strong sensations. Maybe notice now how you can feel sensations all over your body, not just the sensations of breathing, but for example, if you're sitting on a chair or something else, notice the places on your body where you feel pressure. where your body is kind of resting against the surface. You might feel sensations not only that are prominent, that are more obvious, like where your body's pressing against the chair or your feet perhaps pressing against the floor. But also notice even more subtle sensations. For example, notice if you can feel contact of your clothing against your skin. Maybe even feeling the air against your face, the temperature of the air. Focusing on body sensations or just the breath sensations can be a handy way of coming back to the present moment, because these sensations are always there. But really, we could accomplish the same thing by focusing on any experiences that are prone to show up in the present, or moment-to-moment experiences. For example, we can notice any experiences in any of our five senses. Any time of day, we can notice if we're seeing, if our eyes are open, of course, unless we're in a completely dark room, we're always seeing things. And again, unless we're in a completely soundproof room, we're always hearing sounds. Smell and taste may not be as prominent, depending, but the sense of touch, of course, can always be there. Our fingers are particularly sensitive to touch. If you touch various materials or surfaces, you can notice very subtle differences. You may even try that right now, like with your fingers, touch some of your clothing, your pants or shirt, or the surface of the chair that you're, or whatever you're sitting on. And notice each thing you touch has different firmness or texture or temperature. Another interesting sense to focus in on is sound. We're always hearing things. You've been hearing the sound of my voice through this meditation, but see if you can really notice for the next minute or two, and really notice hearing. Notice how many different sounds are coming into your ears. Notice which sounds are the loudest or most prominent. And notice which are the softest, most subtle sounds you can hear. Just being open to the soundscape. You might even hear the sound of your own breathing. Sounds from perhaps from inside the room you're in, or sounds from outside. Sounds from close by, further away. You can also perhaps detect direction sounds are coming from, and other details. And throughout this meditation, you may have also noticed various thoughts and feelings coming up, along with all these other sensory experiences that we can notice. Another thing happening in the present moment is that our mind may be producing all kinds of thoughts and emotions. And these change and come and go from moment to moment. We can easily get caught up in our thoughts or not really aware of our emotional state. Unless we pay attention, which we can do, and see if you can, to what extent you can do that right now. Notice any thoughts that are popping up. Notice your emotional state right now. Any emotions that you're feeling, like happiness or sadness, or nervousness or calmness. You may be feeling strong emotions or just completely neutral or flat. You might also notice how some of these thoughts and emotions kind of go together. Usually pleasant thoughts have pleasant emotional states with them, and emotions like anxiety or sadness or anger may have negative thoughts that go with them. See if you can notice the part of you that's the observer, that's separate from the thoughts and emotions. Maybe notice how all of this is happening all at the same time. Thoughts and emotions and body sensations and all our various sensory experiences. See if you can allow each moment to unfold however it does. With mindfulness, we sometimes hear the word acceptance, but that doesn't mean just accepting problems in life and not doing anything about them. It really is referring more to accepting that whatever is showing up as an experience in the present, accepting that it's here because it is here. It's already here, whether we want it to be or not. Not accepting these experiences when they're happening doesn't change them, and just means we're upset about something that's already here. But once we bring that acceptance to the present moment, we can also then choose how to best respond and what we might want to do in the next moments. Maybe now just bringing your attention back to your breath for just a few more breaths. Maybe take a few slower, deeper breaths and really feel them in detail until you hear the bell ring.